In today's video, I want to highlight 10 super cool PlayStation 4 games that have been going under the radar a little bit, and all of these games are out very soon. Now, I do have to add one thing. With 7 of these games, they're out on the PS4 very soon. The last 3 games I'm going to mention are going to be coming to PC very soon, but they are also slated for PlayStation 4 releases sometime in the future. I just wanted to give those a mention as well because I find that some of you guys are going to be interested in them. And if you do have some sort of PC, all of those games can run on lower end hardware. So with that being said, let's get right into this. First up, I definitely want to highlight Zenon Zero. This is a game that's being developed and published by Avalanche Studios, which is very interesting to know because Avalanche usually partners with other publishers to get their games out, whether it be a Square Enix with Just Cause, whether it be the help that they're putting in with Rage 2, but Zenon Zero is going to be a self-published title, and it's a very interesting game. It's set in 1980s Sweden, and it has you survive in a hostile open world. You take on missions and challenges throughout the open world to unravel more of the mystery of the world, and all the while you're going to have to scavenge for weapons and supplies to help you stay alive. Well, what are you trying to stay alive against? Actually, big, gigantic mechs. Those are your hostile enemies, and that's pretty interesting. The setting's interesting, the premise is interesting, there's so much interest in this game, and best of all, it is being released at a budget price point of $34.99, and that's great for someone like me that is more of a budget-conscious gamer. Zenon Zero will be out March 26th. This is a game you're definitely going to want a couple of friends to play with, so just keep that in mind as well. Next up, we have a brand new open-world RPG, and just me saying open-world RPG, I'm a little surprised that this game hasn't been getting more attention just on the style of game that it is, and that is Outward. Outward is a very interesting game as well. It touts an immersive RPG experience coupled with survival gameplay, offering a deeply rewarding challenge for the most avid of gamers. You play as an ordinary adventurer, so you'll not only have to hide and defend yourself against threatening creatures, but also brave the hazardous environmental conditions, protect yourself against infectious diseases, make sure you get enough sleep, and stay hydrated. You're gonna embark on perilous expeditions across untamed lands to reach new cities, undertake varied missions, and discover hidden dungeons crawling with formidable enemies. The game touts a ritualistic step-by-step approach to spellcasting. Constant auto-saving means you must live with your decisions. Encounter dynamic defeat scenarios and a unique experience with every playthrough. Outward will be out March 26th. Next up, we have a game that's been out on PC for quite a while, finally making its way over to PlayStation 4, and the presentation of this game is so dope. That is Beat Cop. Beat Cop is described as a retro pixel art style adventure in New York inspired by 80s cop shows. You are Jack Kelly and you've been framed for murder. Now, as a regular beat cop, you have to find out who did that. Expect a thick crime story, a lot of black humor, and all the other things you can find on the streets of Brooklyn. The game was received pretty well, a 71 on Metacritic, and also it's got a very positive reception on Steam. 83% of the 1,420 user reviews were positive, released at $14.99, and it does also tout a non-linear story with multiple endings, so a lot to get into here. Love the art style of the game, and Beat Cop is out very soon. Actually, tomorrow, as of recording this video, it drops March 5th. Next up, we have a really cool action RPG, and that is Ghost of a Tale. Ghost of a Tale is an action RPG that puts you in the role as Tilo, a mouse and minstrel caught up in a perilous adventure, and the game takes place in a medieval world populated only by animals. It puts an emphasis on immersion and exploration, and it features stealth elements, disguises, etc. Ghost of a Tale was developed by a very small team, and this is another game that's already been released on PC, and it was received very well. All of the Steam reviews have it pegged at 91% positive reviews. That's based on 1,918 reviews. Released at $25, so the price point's a little bit steep, but still a pretty interesting game. At the very least, keep it on your radar, and then down the line, maybe pick it up on a sale. Ghost of a Tale will be out March 12th. Next up, we have Where the Bees Make Honey. Where the Bees Make Honey is a narrative-driven puzzle game, and it tells a story about reflecting on different moments from a childhood which are played and experienced from an adult perspective. It's a dreamy, ethereal, and thoughtfully crafted experience about nostalgia. The game is capturing that grace period in a childhood where playing dress-up was larger than life and changed the environment around you. At its core, Where the Bees Make Honey is a puzzle adventure game, but gameplay variation is filtered throughout. When the game's main character, Sonia, is an adult reflecting on the times when she was young, the game is played in a first-person perspective. This transition period takes place at her workplace, where she is ultimately at a crossroads with what to do next in her life. A pretty interesting game, a game that hardly anyone's been talking about. Where the Bees Make Honey doesn't have an exact release date yet, but a March window was noted. Next up, we have a pretty cool racing game in Zenon Racer. Zenon Racer is set in the year 2030, and in the near future, the official Racing Federation has ordered a season's pause from racing to allow teams to ease into the transition to flying vehicles. To bridge this gap, top hybrid car manufacturers host a rogue championship for rookie drivers on the streets of cities worldwide. Their advanced cars drive on electricity and xenon gas, resulting in crazy speeds. Get behind the wheel, keep your adrenaline in check, and drift through the streets. You'll be able to boost to absurd speeds and become the ultimate Zenon Racer. I've always mentioned that the PlayStation 4 doesn't have a lot of great racing options. I'm sure Zenon Racer won't resonate at a mainstream level, but could be a pretty interesting game to check out. Zenon Racer will be hitting the PlayStation 4 on March 26th. Next up, I do want to help out those of you guys with PlayStation VR. A pretty interesting game is coming from Ubisoft in Space Junkies. Space Junkies is described as a visceral jetpack-fueled VR arcade shooter where you fly through deadly orbital arenas in hostile space facing off in extreme battles. It's also got adrenaline-packed multiplayer. You are now part of the elite tribes of gunslinging spacers who battle it out in treacherous 2v2 and 1v1 battles. The game looks chaotic, there looks to be a lot of action. Space Junkies could be one of the surprising VR hits of the year. It'll be out March 26th. Alright, so that wraps up all of the games that'll be hitting the PS4 very soon. I do quickly want to highlight some games that will be hitting PC very soon, and they are looking to come to PlayStation 4 sometime down the line. Do remember, all of these games are super easy to run, so if you do have some sort of PC, you can play it on there, otherwise wait for the PlayStation 4 release. First up is a game that I definitely want to mention, and that is Katana Zero. This game looks so awesome from its visual style to its presentation to its premise. It's just a super stylish game, and it's described as such. A stylish neo-noir action platformer featuring breakneck action and instant death combat. You'll have to slash, dash, and manipulate time to unravel your past in a beautifully brutal acrobatic display. The game touts unconventional storytelling and enigmatic story told through cinematic sequences woven into the gameplay, twisting and folding to an unexpected conclusion. Handcrafted sequences, each level is uniquely designed for countless methods of completion. Defeat foes creatively using spontaneous approaches to eliminate your enemy as you see fit. And of course, the combat looks slick as hell. Katana Zero is another game without an exact release date, but it was said to be released sometime in March. Next up, we have a very interesting grand strategy title, and this one will be coming to the PlayStation 4. I know with these types of games, sometimes they do stay on PC forever, but We the Revolution is looking awesome. It has you play as a judge of the Revolutionary Tribunal, preside over complicated cases of ordinary citizens, dangerous criminals, and enemies of the revolution in Revolutionary. Make judgments, plot political intrigue, and try to not lose your own head. Another game with a very stylish presentation and definitely works with the historical theme of the game. It's a unique game with a singular art style set in the blood-soaked and paranoid world of the French Revolution, where often you could not tell a friend from an enemy. As a judge of the Revolutionary, you will have to trudge through this settling passing sentences, playing a dangerous political game and doing everything in your power to not be guillotined as an enemy of the revolution. At the end of the day, you will also confront your decisions with your friend, and very often they will see it differently. Another game that could be one of the surprising hits of the year, We the Revolution will be hitting PC on March 21st. A PlayStation 4 release is planned for some time in the future. Lastly, another game that's not getting a lot of attention, but when I checked it out, I was very enamored by it, and that is Save Cock. Save Cock has you play as the local mafia kingpin trapped inside your own panic room. Danger, danger, a greedy mastermind is trying to seize your power, and they've set a mole deep into your illicit operations. Time is running out. You have just 6 days to solve the mystery and identify the mastermind before you're taken out of business permanently. The gameplay of Save Cock is described as dynamic. At the start of each new game session, the game shuffles the NPC deck, which drives all game events. This means that the mastermind and the mole are different people each time you play. You'll need a different investigation strategy each time, as the actions they take will depend on their specific personalities and abilities. The end of your first session is only your beginning, so this is going to be a game with a ton of replay value to it. It's very interesting in premise. Another game without an exact release date, but it is set to be out sometime in March. And that's gonna conclude this video. I hope I was able to highlight some games that you guys aren't completely aware about, but now you're very interested in them. Personally, I look at games like Generation Zero, Beat Cop, We the Revolution, and Katana Zero as my highlights, but honestly, I have some interest in all of these games. Sure, all of them might not be day one pickups, but games to definitely keep an eye on and see how the reviews pan out, see if they go on sale, and go from there. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Can't do it on your own. Even ordinary people can do extraordinary things.
Or special equipment to distract or confuse the enemies. Use these in combination with objects in your surroundings to create traps and ambushes.
Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.